It's actually really cool. The Senate is a highly scripted, very regimented body, and Vote-a-Rama is like our free for all. So all amendments are germane. You can throw anything at the wall here, and they will be voting all day, all night, maybe even into tomorrow. So it's really exciting if you're into that kind of thing.
Are any important?
Yes, they're critically important. There are millions of individuals at risk of losing Medicaid in this package. And that will be a big amendment vote from Rick Scott, Republican of Florida, that will need to pass. Otherwise, it could risk as many as 4 Republican senators defecting away from this bill. However, if it is passed, it may fail in the House. So it's a very delicate balance that Republicans need to walk here. The most important one is going to be a procedural change that fundamentally undermines and effectively removes the filibuster from the United States Senate for the rest of all time. This is a massive deficit increasing provision, and it authorizes the use of current policy baseline by overriding the parliamentarian, our referee, and it will pave the way for increasing the deficit by $4 trillion without paying for it in this package. So a lot is very heavy stuff on the line today.
Is there any political fallout for anybody, Henrietta, for raising these deficits by, I don't know, the $4 trillion you just mentioned?
Yeah, I think that there are. You don't often see this without an election happening, but Tom Tillis, for example, Republican of North Carolina, has decided this bill is so atrocious, he's quitting the entire Senate. And so he's going to vote against the package, and he's moving on with his life, which is a shame. He's an excellent senator with some incredible staff that we've worked with and been lucky to work with now for years. But this is real ramifications in real time. And the next time you hear someone say, Rome died because of its deficits and debt, ask them how they voted on this bill.
President Trump is on one heck of a winning streak here. Do the Democrats recognize this? Is there any pushback, any sense of we want to get our message out?
What message?
Yep.
I mean, this bill is filled with literally trillions of dollars worth of messages. And the Republican package is so massive that they've sort of just been washed over by the flood of it. So if you follow an individual member's statements, you can catch, where they stand on Medicaid and things along those lines. But it's really hard to get a message through. I was actually with a doctor friend of mine this weekend who, and I cover this bill now for the entire year. And I just learned that 65% of births in Louisiana come from Medicaid patients. And this is cutting millions of people off of Medicaid nationwide, 12 million. So it's pretty substantial.
It's 60,000 feet, and I've got a nodding memory of this. Is this a pullback of the Great Society? Is what we're really talking here? I got to do the math, 40 and 20, 60 years on, we're slamming ourselves back to Pleasantville and Dwight David Eisenhower?
Yeah, I mean, this is the end of caring about deficits. This is the end of paying for legislation on a go-forward basis. So, for example, any tax provision that you like right now that's on the books can be extended into perpetuity without ever paying for it ever again. So any short-term provision you put in there, the SALT cap, the IRA tax credits, the child tax credit, whatever it may be, these are hundreds of billions of dollars on a line-by-line basis.
Right.
But perhaps the biggest component of this bill is the wealth transfer. Think about the tariffs that have been put on by this Trump administration. I don't think that's a win, but the president has made it appear as though he's really, strong-arming, but it's $400 billion in tariff revenue collection. The entirety of the president's campaign agenda, no taxes on tips, no taxes on, retirement payments and things like that, is $163 billion worth of this package, and the tariffs are $400 billion in revenue. So we are passing a massively regressive tax bill that does not return what the president is giving you on the tariff side.
And we're running out of time. Very quick, how many pages will this legislation be? I'm asking for John Tucker. He's going to read it at the beach.
It is already read aloud. It took something like 15 and a half hours, and it's 940 pages.